damn good coffee.
Alright, hi everybody. Let's get started. Hope everybody's Tuesday is going well so far. I can't complain too much. Had a bit of time to well, finally just not super rushed today, so that was nice. Alright, so if you remember, yesterday we were working on the code to help the players reconnect if one of them crashes or they lose internet. And we got so far that the players send their current game state to the server, and then the server chooses which state to use. So we'll continue with that. We're almost done, really. We just need to add the pieces to this. So, and I think it will be relatively simple. Okay, and then just for each piece, okay, so and then we add it to the array. Okay, and then we basically just need to copy relevant data from the board pieces. Let's Alright, and then so piece dot behavior equals live piece behavior ID live piece board position, and then owner. I guess we also need to pass some other things such as the number of moves that piece has taken. Let's look and see what other data is in here. Yeah, if it's captured and the number of moves. So public bool is captured and number moves taken. So easy to add in right here. It's captured is live piece is captured. Okay, I think that's all we have to do here, but now that I added these two data fields, I want to fill them in on the game start generator as well. So here it's easy, it's never captured at the beginning, and the number of moves is always 0. So okay. Now we got that figured out. So okay. So now, yeah, if you haven't gotten the feeling yet, this system is pretty big and confusing. So I think one thing I start to do when I get confused or I don't know where to start is I'll just like actually load up the game and see how far it goes until it runs into an error. So we'll go ahead and do that now. I know that to this lobby we need to add another button to rejoin the game, so maybe we'll get to that today. Oh wait, this will join. Okay, did it? There's no actual errors. Okay, I think, yeah, I thought that it would start to hang right here. So let's see, where is that? Loading scene, server logic setup. Okay, so yeah, that's the problem, is that the loading scene doesn't even use that server logic anymore. Which, yeah, because we even set it as obsolete. So okay. So I'm going to ignore these for now. Here all we have to do is load new reconnection server manager. I'm starting to think if maybe this server manager should actually be active at all times. Maybe we should even just have like a separate like game object for the server. We've already done so much work though. It's a moddable chess game. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add the this reconnection server manager here. And then we'll change all these to actually be a game component instead of a scene component. Right, and then since this will be active at all times, we don't need to use this janitor anymore. So this is now going to be running outside of the scenes. Do I need another parenthesis? Okay, no, that's good. Okay, so we need to do something like, we have to get these ready signals pretty often. So it might be good to just combine all the ready signals into one. But that would require us to rewrite a lot of the lobby stuff, so I don't know if I want to do that now. We'll just keep it in mind for the next game. Okay, so is this ever created anywhere? Okay, so yeah, it just creates it right here, that's fine. Okay, we can close that. And then if we go back to the mod loading scene, too many files open, then we just delete that entirely. Actually, I should go back to the moddable chess game because we need to say new reconnection server manager. And then we pass this game. Okay, and so now we need to take care of the start conditions. Let's look and see what the actual function is. Okay, so what do we need to do? So now we're going to listen to a lot more messages that are in the game component, so we should probably make another disposable list instead of having this separate listener janitor. Okay, and so then all we do is game events equals new. And then we add this listener here. And then we can move these up to this. So then we just add these to the game events, and then also these are just game components now, not scene components. And then we need to, okay, this is, yeah, the intention was confusing me there, but that is correct. Okay, and so now we just need to dispose of this. Let's get rid of this. So it looks like we don't connect to anything on the loading scene. And then if on game events is not equal null, then we dispose of it right here. Okay, so what I initially came here for is, yeah, we need to add these messages to the or create them in the game components instead of these scene components. So let's right here. New messenger int. Oops, what did I do there? And then we need to send the sync reconnect error, and then send reconnect hello. Except this has different arguments. It is the connection hello message. Technically, yeah, we're using this for more than just reconnection, but I don't want to rename everything right now. And then, so instead of creating this here, we actually get the component. Game components, get component, messenger int, and then int component keys, send reconnect ready. Then we'll do the same thing here, except it's the hello message. Okay. Okay, so now I'm back here to the mod loading scene. So what is the network player interface when we get the and player loading or received? Okay, so it will send this reconnection reply received. Okay, this is not instantiated anywhere. This should actually be a game component now. And I'll probably convert this ready to, yeah, they'll all be game components, but basically this will be a generic like ready count. Okay, so we got the hello reply received, and then also that, and then okay. Alright, so let's add those three functions to the game. So we got loading error. Oh, what is it? Yeah, I think also in the final game we should have separate little enumerations for, or even a whole separate component thing for server, and so everything in here is just client. That makes things a lot easier. Oops, what a. That's correct. And then what's the type? Okay, nothing. And then this one is hello message reply. And then we get the reconnection server reply. And then the last one is reconnection already received, and this is just a typeless messenger as well. Keeps giving us songs with vocals today. Alright, so I think we're all good there. Okay, and so now what we need to do, oops, what did I just do? Oh, I said debug, I don't want to do that. So scene, oh yeah, we are in the scene right now, so disposable list, add. So we gotta start doing these as with disposers, because we're actually using a game component now and not a scene component. So listener game start conditions. Alright, so game components. Wait, we don't register it anymore. So get component. It's messenger, game start conditions. Oh wait, yeah, it's not game start conditions anymore. What is it? Network, game state. And then we gotta do simple listener. Okay, and then let's go here. Okay, so yeah, we'll just, don't need to do this anymore. We'll just say that if the first player does not equal our connection ID, then we're the second player. So alright, and then there's a bunch of other stuff we need to set. Problem is, all those things are not in the game components, so we can't like carry them over. Okay, so what do we want to do? So we should either make like a separate game state class, or we can just like keep track of like the active player and turn number and stuff in the board, which I think is okay. So now this board will basically become the game state. So basically everything else in the let's pull it up, in this network game state, I'm going to put into the board here. So private int first player serialize field turn number serialize field consecutive turns serialize field. I think there was one other thing. Let's save this. Oh, of course, the active player. Okay, and then I noticed in this mod loading scene, actually tells us like we have the turn order here in the local info, but I think I'd rather move it into this board because the local info has transformed more into like a networking data class. So okay, yeah, and actually instead of how we'll do this is we'll just say player order instead of storing the connection ID right there, we'll just say if we're the active or not. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So we have this board. Board subscribe, board created. Okay, we can do this better, I think. So instead of doing this with messengers, we'll just do a remote function, I think. Okay, so this will now need the network. Game state. Yeah, we don't need to set this anymore. So I'll go ahead and take that out. We need this. Okay, so basically, I'll kind of combine these. Okay, I think the reason I did it this way is because I thought that maybe creating the board would take more than one frame, like we do it multi-threaded, but creating the board doesn't take any time at all because all it's doing is like transforming the conditions from the network game state into the board, so it doesn't actually do any like calculations really. Okay, so let's get component, remote function, and then it returns the board and we give it a network game state. And component keys. Okay, so create board command, and then we'll query it and send it the board. Okay, don't need that. Yeah, so we don't need this either. We do still, let's do that. We do still register the board here. That's normal. Okay, then we'll actually change this. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so we actually will send just our connection ID. So local. Oh, so we don't actually have the local info. That's kind of weird. Okay, and then we need to change this. Okay, we don't need anymore. Okay, so no references. And nothing calls us anymore, but it's the same as the in here. The loading error command. Oh no, this is the one, yeah, that's called when everything is done, so this is already. Okay, but yeah, we need to add a listener janitor for all these. Alright, so okay, these don't have any types. So it's game components, get component, messenger, component keys, so reconnection already received, and then we just do the simple listener. And we'll do the same thing for exit to lobby, error command. Alright. So anything else going on here? Alright, so we have these notify server ready to exit. And those are all not used. Okay, so let's walk through this code. So unmod translation complete. We go here. Okay, so we do need to change this. Alright, so int client send network event, but we'll change this to send error to server, and then we'll need send ready to server, and then we'll need another one, send hello to server, and this one will have the hello message. We don't need to register because we'll just get them all from the game. In fact, I'll just, instead of having all these components or messengers lying around, since we're in the scene, we might as well just get them right here. Get component, messenger, int, component keys. Okay, so this is a load error, so send reconnection error. And then we just send our connection ID. Okay, so let's go. These are obsolete now, so I'm just gonna support them. And then the same thing we'll do here. Oh, except we actually have to send the hello message. So this is okay. So so now let's fill in everything this needs. So it's a connection ID first. So the connection ID. I thought we didn't have the local info. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so anyway, hello. So the type here is, we'll just say it's a new game for now. And then the game state will be null. We send hello. And this is what we execute when we receive the conditions. Okay, yeah, so after we get the board, then we need to send out a ready. Okay, and so then we just do that. So I think we're all good here. So I know, I wish, it keeps on telling me these things are obsolete, and I know, I'm surprised I can't tell it's commented out. Anyway, so we're good here. Okay, so I think I need to deal with the board creator. So yeah, basically just need to set all these. So encapsulate field. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure this isn't set anywhere, because yeah, we don't need that anymore at all. Don't need this. Don't need that for sure. We really just register a new remote function, which taken, or we return the board and we get network game state. Yeah, we don't need to set up at all. Don't need this. Okay, so this is a big mess up. We set the dimensions to 8, 8, but it's actually defined by the mod. Okay, so is this set somewhere else maybe? No, I just forgot to. How do we not catch that? Okay, so where do we get this in the game database? so yeah, actually the board should just not even have this information anymore. Which I'm gonna have to deal with that, but it's not that big of a deal. So now this board class will be just strictly a game state class instead of holding any data really, which is probably for the best. So int vector 2 engines. Right, so yeah, don't need that anymore. So one thing we do need, right, so I need to cache the local player information because we need to know our local connection ID. Opponent keys, local player information. And then, right, so the first thing in the board is, well, the pieces, but the local player order. So if local player, local player dot connection ID equals the state first player, then the local player is first, otherwise second. Okay, so I got the turn number, which is just the state, turn number, consecutive turns, same thing. Active player. Okay, and so pieces is a list of pieces for each piece and state pieces. And then is captured is actually piece is captured, and then the last thing is number of moves. Okay. So now instead of returning or calling this message, we just return the board. Right, I think got everything there. So now the mod loading scene should be back up to date. I'm pretty sure there'll be some errors in here because of all the stuff I refactored, so let's see. Move option calculator. Okay, but I'm sure it has the database. Not really. I don't know why I have these as two separate. I'm just gonna change this right now. Board dimensions. I know this is gonna cause even more problems, but alright. So now, instead of having to create that, we can just say database for dimensions. Much simpler. So what other errors do we have? Okay, so yeah, now we don't need that local player. We can just say board, local player order. So now I might not need this local player anymore. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Oh, why did it do that? So we've got a lot of stuff here in turn chooser, which makes sense. So active player goes board dot. Okay, so this wants to know the local player. So then we got the dimensions. Let's see in this last one. Okay. Alright, so this is easy. Database. Close new. Okay. What else do we have? Database, four dimensions X, four dimensions Y. Just a couple more looks like. Okay, four dimension. Oops. Four dimensions X. Dimensions Y. Okay. I think that's everything unless more pop up. Alright, so yeah, let's see how this works. Okay, nothing bad so far. We've written the loading scene. I think this is the third time, but that's the reason why I wanted to do this, to get some practical testing before we actually design the final game. Okay, so everything is good here, but yeah, we didn't change anything in the lobby, so I don't know why this would change. Okay, so we're missing a component at mod loading scene 49. Let's look and see what that is. There's no start conditions from server. Oh, okay, I think I forgot to put these client-side events. Okay, I didn't forget this one, and I didn't forget that one. I did forget this one though. Gosh, I'm getting bombarded by telemarketers today. It's the fourth one that's called. Alright, so what am I looking for? Right here. Reconnection reply received. That's right. Okay, so yeah, we just don't use this event anymore. Okay. Yeah, it's down here. Alright, so let's try it again. Alright, so join. Then click ready. Okay, so something else. Let's see. About I think seeing 49 today. It's the same line. Network game state. So find all references. Okay, so yeah, the reply received. Okay, yeah, this is the problem. So then I need to go down here and change this to reply. Right, and so what we do here is reply dot game state, but we actually need to also check, because if it sends us no game state, then we exit to the lobby. Okay, so let's see. If reply dot no game state, then exit to lobby, because that means that something weird happened. Alright, let's try it again. There's a slightly quicker way to start up a second client, but it just takes a while to compile, so. Alright, so ready. Okay, so it got in here, it got all the way to mod finish translation. So now it's starting to do the network stuff. And component key 82 not found. Probably same thing for that. What line edit is that at? Network player interface 285. Okay, so it didn't find the server reconnection hello received. Okay, and it does register right here. That's a strange one. Wait, did I leave it in the scene components maybe? No, it's in the game components, alright. Okay, so this is not what I'm thinking of. It's getting a null at the remote function. Okay, no, it was what I was thinking. At command send reconnection hello at 285. Yeah, so I'm a bit stumped. Why would that be null? Because the server manager clearly registers the component here. Oh, maybe this is a problem. Well, yeah, this is a problem because the start condition should doesn't even, we don't even call setup anymore, so we need to cache the game. Okay, so yeah, this will work. Does it not? Oh wait, we have to change it to Moddable Chess game. It's 2 there, why is that? Oh, because the game is still running somehow. Unexpected symbol. Oh wait, we just need to delete this function. Let's close this. So yeah, this is error we were getting. 285. I just don't know why that's happening. I'm just gonna run it again, maybe we'll get some more information. Oh, is there a bug? Oh right, now it's gonna complain that we inherit from that interface but don't implement the function. Okay, so let's see. join start. Okay, so the same thing happened. I was hoping it would give me something, a little more information. Oh, wait. I look at the wrong thing. So server reconnect. And we definitely register it. Wait. Please work with me here. So Unity engine, debug, log. So I'll just get the component back and see what happens there. Get component. Oh wait, it's not iMessenger, it's a remote function. Okay, so let's see if this prints out. Yeah, so it does. So it does exist, so why is it telling me there's a null? Is anything called remove component maybe? Just not. There's something obsolete up here? Oh yeah, I don't need this anymore, or do I? Nothing uses this anymore? Oh no, it just uses a default. Okay. Alright. I don't really know why this is happening. It's kind of annoying because we can't really continue on until we figure this out. Got 82. Oh, I accidentally cooked it off. Yes, I know Unity. Let's see. It's always annoying. It's probably something simple too, but yeah, so it is 82. And what line is it on? 283. So it's not even a cast error, it just says that there's no object registered, but we know for a fact that we do register it. Okay, let's see. This is going to be kind of annoying, but hopefully we can pinpoint the exact moment when when this object gets deleted. So first, I'll do Unity Engine, debug, game, frame count. Tick count as I call it. So it'll tell us the frame, and then we'll just call okay, this is, yeah, it's a game component. Okay. How did that not pop into my head right away? Okay, saying similarly, this should be a game component. And that's the reason why when we make the final game, we need to separate these component keys into game and scene components for sure. That'll help make it more obvious. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure all these others are game components, not scene. Okay, now I do feel dumb like I thought. Okay, let's delete that tick function here. Alright. I'm pretty sure that was the problem, so let's build it and see what happens, how far we can get. Right, let me load up chess. Okay. Oh, that's strange. The client got an error, but not the server. Okay, so let's open the log and see what happened. So we got a null reference at right network game state. At reconnection hello message value in file. So okay, so maybe it doesn't let you send a null game state in the hello message. That seems to be the case. Well, good to know. Alright, so let's see. Go to the mod loading scene. What happened? Where do we send that? Send hello right here. So what happened is that the client had an error here because the game state was set to null. I'm not sure why the host didn't have that problem. Well, I guess because it doesn't have to be serialized over the network, but that seems kind of bad simulation on Unity's part. But so what we need to do here is just create a new game state and just leave all default values, and the server won't even care about it. Similarly here, we should probably game state just set an empty one. No game state, false. It's today like I picked this radio station because it's mostly just instrumental stuff, but today must be vocals day or something, I don't know. Okay, so I just set those values there just to make sure. Oh, and then right here, reply false. So I'm not sure if there's any other place where we try to send a null, but I guess that will come up eventually. But I guess importantly now we know one time where, or one instance that we need to test the second player being the host. Okay, let's finish compiling. Same thing as always, just load up chess mod. Okay, so calculating order. Okay, why just stop then? Okay, so this is on the database or the server. Get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, so this is what it called. I guess maybe we should have a debug here. Log string format. So we'll do the frame sending hello reply. Time frame count. Let's go ahead and add wait, this is the hello reply. This is sending all signaled ready. And then this be sending error relay. Alright, so let's run this one more time just to make sure that the message got sent. And then obviously the games are hanging, so Probably forgot a little logic after that. Okay. So yeah, sending the hello reply. So what I need to do, and so that since this game components, connection reply received, let's find all. Okay, so it does. Okay, so yeah, here's the problem here is that we need to activate already. Because I think right now the listeners were just sitting in there, but they weren't actually like hooked up yet. They are ready to be hooked up, but not there yet. In fact, what did I? Yeah, these a cleaner way to do this would just have put them in the activatable list instead of the disposable list. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. Okay. Opponent key 0 not registered. Mod loading scene 142. Okay, what did I call this in the board creator? Oh, board created. That's the wrong thing. Create. Okay. That's why we're doing this testing, to find little bugs like that. Yeah, this prototype is starting to get a bit unwieldy. This morning I was debating about if we should just like start like a skeleton game and only focus on the networking and not have any of like the modding or chess stuff. But after we finish this reconnection, I think that we'll be done with it mostly. So, oh, and here we go, load it in. So let's see if it'll let me move. Okay, oh yeah, because we changed the way the turns work a bit. So things are kind of, so now the game is unresponsive, but that's okay. Alright, so now, well, this kind of worked, I guess. I was gonna see how the reconnection would start. Doesn't look like it's doing anything. Oh, I think that's because I didn't even add the reconnection manager or create it yet on the gameplay scene. But before we get there, so obviously if a game crashes, we want to have a rejoin button. So we can It'll be pretty simple, so I think we can probably finish it in the time we have left. So this will be rejoin button. Something like that. Doesn't look centered, does it? I don't think the other things are centered. This is wasting time, but it's bothering me. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so here, text. Let's change this start client to join new game just to separate it from this. Okay, so how this will work is you click the button and it will basically start to try to load into the game for you, and how it remembers what the IP address and port and password of the old game was is when you join a game, we'll like write out that information to the disk, and then if you leave a game voluntarily, that file would be deleted. So let's go ahead and do that, I think. So we'll make a brief detour in the lobby, but this shouldn't take too long. Okay, so this will be rejoin file. Okay, so this might even be able to be a static class. Let's see. Public static void. Right, so we'll have right. Well, yeah, we'll need to write host and write client. And the host has the port and the password. Okay, and then the file. Okay, so private static final string. Oh, final's not. For some reason I always get how constants are defined mixed up between programming languages. File path. We can just make it a text. And this will go in the game's root folder. Which would be right here, I think. So private static string get file path, return path. Oops. So we'll need the system IO, so we can go ahead and do that. Path combine application. Dot data path, and then file name. and then so using stream writer equals new buffered stream, new file stream. So we'll get file path and then file access, write, file mode, just create. I think that will delete any file that's already there. So then we just write actually, maybe we don't want a stream writer. What is stream writers for strings? What is the class set? Does like binary output and binary write to file. Oh, sorry, the Microsoft Developer Network is slow today. Oh. There we go. So we got write. I don't know if this is the right one because it doesn't look like it support. Oh no, it does support strings. Okay, so that's fine. Right, so yeah, binary writer. Okay, so first we want to write some value here to say that we're the host. So let's, yeah, we can go ahead and just do a boolean because we're either the host or the client, and then we'll write port and the password. It's easy. Okay, so then we need the same thing except for write client. And this will have the address. Besides that, it's exactly the same. First we write false, except spell it right. Okay. And then, let's see, public static void clear, and this will happen, for instance, when you leave a game voluntarily by clicking the back button or something. So, let's say file delete, get file path. I wonder if that will throw an error if it doesn't exist. So let's say file, if file exists, let's cache the path now. String file equals get file path. So if the file exists, then we'll delete it. Okay, and so the last thing we need to do is read, obviously. Okay, so let's make a class. Host public string address, public int port, and public what's the other thing? String, password. Okay, and so then we have public static bool read and then out data data. So if file exists, let's get this again. Yeah, we should also probably try catch this. So that we won't throw any bad errors. Yeah, that's not a good idea, is it? So, IO exception. Okay, and then I'll just say Unity engine debug log exception. And that way we'll still get the exception in a debug, but it wouldn't like freeze the whole game if it happened in deployment. And similarly, we've got to do that right here. Try catch AO exception IOX, and then we'll log it, and then in this case we'd also return false. Okay, so let's use the same type of thing, except this will obviously be a binary reader. And then we need to change these to file access read and open. Okay, so let's see, if reader, so this first part sees if it's a server. So if true, then data is host is true, and then we read the, oh no, we don't read the address then. So if it's false, say data is host to false, and then we set the, and then we read the address from the file. Reader read string. The last ones we just read the port. Read end. Okay, yeah, so this 32. Data, password, oops. Okay. So that's all pretty simple. Oh, and then I forgot to say return true right here. Okay, so now how do we implement this? So we got the, where is it? Okay, so I was gonna say I should obsolete this since we combine them. Okay, so yeah, once why is this? Oh yeah, because you can be rejected. Okay, so yeah, it's once we connect that we want to save this information. So we got the port and the password and the address already. So okay, So we do rejoin file, write host, then port password. And then right here we'd say rejoin file, write client, address, port, password. Okay, and then let's go to the lobby back button. Okay, it's never used, so let's go to that. So basically whenever this do back happens, we clear the rejoin. And then finally, we need to make the actual class to handle the rejoin button. Or maybe we just do this here. So it's pretty simple. We just need a simple bool sub for rejoin button active. Or not even active, it should be visible. Okay, so and then let's see, screen on enter state messenger, subscribe, new simple listener, on enter screen, private void on enter screen. Wait, those shouldn't be public. Okay, so if screen state equals int lobby screen, then right now we'd see if we can rejoin the game. So rejoin button visible dot value equals rejoin file. Okay, so yeah, we actually need one more object here. So public bool, actually a public static bool exists. Yeah, this is pretty simple. We just return, which I can't type anymore. File exists, get file path. Maybe we should we actually test to see if it has valid data? I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, what's it complaining about? Oh, I need to put the parentheses. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is make private void on rejoin button. So we need to make another screen, which is a pretty simple one actually, but then we need to register and subscribe. So choose to join, so choose to rejoin button press. And then we also need to rejoin button visible equals new GUI comps. Register component. GUI comp keys. Choose to rejoin button visible. Start out with false. And then we'll subscribe to the rejoin button press. Okay. I think we're good here. We just gotta make the rejoin controller. Right. So rejoin screen controller. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the UI elements. So we got, change this so that choose to rejoin. Don't we have a, pretty sure there was one that you could, I thought for sure I had one that you could, that was just visibility. But I don't want to make, I'm too lazy to make a new object just for that, so it'll just be disabled, which is okay. So we can go ahead and test that. So if I join a new game, okay, well I'll need to create a second object. I guess let's, might as well test to see if the file gets created. So alright, and then if we close it, well that's weird, the return button is not. Oh well, that actually, I think that's working as intended, because since somebody forcibly exited the lobby, that got grayed out. But when we play this, I think the file will still be there because the game quote crashed, and yeah, it's right there. Oh, did I actually put the, oh yeah, there's the rejoin file. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we have some gibberish. Goes in binary, it's fine. Don't know why it, I wish I didn't put it in the assets file, but it's okay, I guess, not that big of a deal. Alright, so what do we do now? I guess we work on this some more. I guess let's see all the ways this do back can be called. So it happens if the server disconnects, if the client disconnects, and then if the actual button is pressed. So yeah, that's fine. I just realized something that might mess up. But I'm not going to worry about it for now because there's no way I can test it. Okay, so it's totally unrelated to what we're doing, but if like the players lose internet while in the lobby, I think what will happen here is that like for instance the client, wait, so if it, yeah, so what really needs to happen here is, say if the connection state is disconnected, we need to just call this client disconnect command to completely disconnect. So yeah, I think I'll do that right now just to so if local info connection dot state equals int client connection state disconnected, because remember the code handles like disconnected and then none separately, so okay, so we kind of do that there. It's just for some reason we skimp out on the client. I don't know why. So yeah, I'll just do the same thing. Anyway, back to what we were doing. We need to make the rejoin screen controller. Okay, so basically it will be like the start client. Wait, let's see, we don't even need this anymore actually. Okay, so we'll just copy this, and this will be rejoin. And we don't need any of this stuff. We don't need that. So all we need here is the back button and the status text. So we'll change this to rejoining. Okay, so I just thought of one other problem we could have. Which that one could be a bit of an annoying thing. Okay. It's again kind of unrelated to what we were doing, but I'm gonna type this note here. So say for instance the host and the client are in a game and playing, and then the host crashes, and then instead of clicking rejoin game, the host starts a new game with the same information, and then the client would reconnect to that. So the host needs some way to like block. So we really just need to back when the host tries to validate new users, we need some way for the host to block players that are in already active games. So yeah, let's do that. Let's see. So players in game, host crashes, host starts new game with same info, needs to block reconnecting player. But then also here server validation, needs to take a new or reconnecting status to consideration. I'm glad I thought of that because that could be kind of hard to do. So let's see. The network tracker. So it'd be here, try to connect. But instead of connecting with just the password, we'd also connect with some other information. In fact, I should just rename this to try validate. Okay, and we'll have a class here, public class. So password, and then in progress game. I'm not gonna like do all the logic right now, but I want to go ahead and get the groundwork ready. Okay, so really all we have to do is the server would know if you're trying to rejoin, and then or basically you're trying to rejoin a game or start a new one, and then it would accept or reject people based on that. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we've got to send more info there. So password equals password, and then in progress game equals, I'll just set false for now. Okay. But anyway, it's back to the rejoin. Just have a little bit more time, so let's just get started. This will be the message text. I provoked Deadeye. Thanks for coming by. Fortunately, I only have a few more minutes to stream, but I hope you can enjoy what little time there is left. Let's see, and then we need okay, yeah, so we should probably gray out the back button once it gets to a certain point. I don't know if that point can ever be reached, so let's leave that for now. Let's see. What language? It's C#. Set up host. Let's grab this out of here. GUI comps, register component. So we got the message text. I'll just start empty. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of different languages to me. C# and Java are hard to tell apart. especially. Okay, so int UI comp keys. So this would be the rejoin text. And then the other one we have is messenger back button pressed. Oh right, yeah, because in Java it's capitalized. That's a good way to tell them different. Tell them apart, I mean. UI comp keys, register component. Oops. So this would be, I guess we could just use the same thing. Oh, that probably would be a good idea. Rejoin, cancel button, back button pressed, and then have I ever heard of Prolog? I have, actually. I've not used it much, but isn't it a functional language? Like Scheme and Lisp? I could be remembering wrong. So back. And then we need to subscribe. Simple listener. On back button pressed. I'll go ahead and generate this method so it'll leave me alone with that error. One of the first few VAS that's heard of it, really? Isn't it used a lot for like AI? That's really all I know about it. You're working on an assignment on it currently, and I'm just wondering how many people knew it. Yeah, well, I don't think it's used much in game development, so yeah, you probably won't see many people use it on Twitch. At least I've never seen it used in it. Okay, let's see. Then we'll get the screen. Simple state machine. I'm not sure. I just started learning about it a week ago. Oh, okay. Scene get component. Simple state machine. Component keys, and then I think it's going to call it the lobby screen, if I remember right. And then enter, subscribe, simple listener int. So on screen enter. So how many games have I made? I see it says you made 80 games. Oh, I've made, I think last I counted, I've made about 30, but most of those aren't like huge games. For about almost 2.5 years, I made a game every month. And I've entered into Ludum Dare, if you've heard of that. So it's all about making quick little games. So let's see, if screen state equals int. for a lobby screen, rejoin. What's the biggest game I've made and how long did you work on it? The biggest game was probably a game I made back for the Xbox Indie arcade, back when that was big. And it took me about 2 years, but I didn't work on it full time. Okay, so on enter, then we set the message text. I guess we'll want to do something different depending on if we're going to start a host or client. Did it get released? Yeah, I think it's still up there. Let me see if I can find a link real quick. Granted, I made this about 5 years ago, so don't judge me too harshly, but it's not too bad, I don't think. That's a huge link. Okay, let's see. Will Twitch let me post that? Okay, yeah, there you go. I put it in a chat. Okay, so what we want to do here is read the information from the rejoin file. Okay, so actually let's pull this out. Private void start rejoin. I'll probably want to make a state machine and everything, but so yeah, released on the 360. Yeah, not the Xbox One. Read so out. Okay, so let's see. Could have a few states. Error, start server, start client. Okay, so if something messes up there, then we'd set state to error. Private void. Alright, I'm gonna do something that's a bit overkill, but it'd be kind of nice to help us keep the message text. State 0 new. So we don't need to do that. And then enter state messenger subscribe. New simple listener. So refresh text. So you're setting up multiplayer? Yeah. I've got most of it working, but Right now what I'm doing is adding support for players to rejoin a game if one of them crashes or they lose internet connection. So we've already have like the initial connection set up, and they can choose what mods to play with and even move their pieces around. So I think this is probably one of the last big projects I have to do in terms of networking. Right, and so then how this will work. Switch state. That's it's a bit of a mouthful. And then I'll have the message text. So this way, the message test will stay up to date automatically, so it helps make things a bit easier. Value. There was an error trying to establish connection. So this would be start error. How long have I been making games? Let's see. Well, I got, if you count like using scenario editors and modding tools, oh gosh, it's gotta be probably 10 years at least now, because for a long time I used, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there was a Star Wars game that was basically Age of Empires, and I used its scenario editor for a long time, and then I moved on to this program called RPG Maker, and then I finally learned how to program, so then I made my own games. Alright, so starting client, searching for host. Value equals starting host, searching for client. Alright. So here we set state to start error. Okay, and in this case, yeah, we need to start up the clients. And yeah, I think I better go. It's a shame, it seems like I always start talking to people right when I've got to end the stream, but yeah. Thanks, I've enjoyed chatting with you, Provoked Deadeye. But I will be back tomorrow at about 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll continue doing this networking. Hopefully we'll finish up. I think that we're almost there. Actually gotta find a way to test disconnections without disconnecting my own internet and ending the stream. Thanks for answering. No problem, Provoked Deadeye. Alright, well, yeah, I better go. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.